Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame.tv. He's Vegas Runner. I'm Marco D'Angelo, and we're here for Sunday baseball action. The Detroit Tigers go to Baltimore to play, and VR, Justin Verlander. He's got to be the luckiest man alive. Reigning MVP, reigning Cy Young Award winner, $20 million contract a year. That doesn't matter.
That's meaningless.
Meaningless. He's doing Kate Upton.
Don't get better than that.
I mean, end of story. Now we can understand why he got lit up in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. You're at the All-Star game.
He cares for baseball right now.
Okay, all right. Picture this. Okay, think of you heading back to Philly. Okay, and I hope your wife's not watching this video. You're heading back to Philly. All your buddies are on. When you go to the All-Star game, it's all your peers and
all your friends. Yeah.
And you're coming in with Kate Upton.
Yeah.
You're going to feel pretty.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, Justin Verlander, we excuse your performance
for sure
in the All-Star game.
He gets a pass.
He gets a pass. But now we've got an embarrassed Justin Verlander because nobody wants to get lit up on a national stage in the All-Star game. And it's been a great, theory. These guys are, you're going to get 110% focus out of Justin Verlander, even with Kate Upton.
Especially with a team that's only 3.5 back right now.
Yeah, this is a team that was supposed to run away and hide with this. You remember the preseason win total on the Tigers?
Yeah.
I mean, this division wasn't even supposed to be close. They're not only not in first place, they're in third place, but they'll overtake Cleveland. The Indians,
it's between them and the White Sox, I think.
And the White Sox, just before we went on air, we talked about their pitching staff and, how they're getting it done. Will that continue? I mean, Jake Peavy, he's been lights out, but will, the younger guy, Chris Sale, will he be able to, maintain what he's done in the first half of the season as we get to the dog days of, August and September? But back to this game, Verlander's pitched against Baltimore 9 times in his career. He's never lost to them. 6-0. Against Baltimore in his career. Pumped up Verlander coming off that embarrassing performance on the All-Star game. I like him here. Detroit went into the All-Star break on a 5-game winning streak. They're playing well. Baltimore, they started the season, they were the story at the beginning of the baseball season, but what do you take for them? I mean, they limped into the All-Star break.
Here's the thing with Baltimore, man. I mean, Pythagorean over-under says they've won more games than they should. When you look at their run differential, runs scored, runs allowed, they're a negative half a run. Mm-hmm. So this team is not as good as their record indicates. Unfortunately for them, though they're 45-40, which is good for pretty much first place or right there in most divisions, not in the American League East. They're in second place with a 45-40 record, but more importantly, they're 7 games back. But you brought up a perfect point. They limped into the All-Star break, and when you look, Chavez, Markakis, Roberts, Nick Johnson, they're all injured. Mm-hmm. I mean, here's a team that's really bandaged up right now, and I don't think they have the talent to overcome all those injuries. I mean, when you look, they're 20th offensively in runs per game, and they're 19th in runs allowed. This is a below average offense, below average pitching staff. I just think here's a team whose record is going to give you value because they look better than they are, and I'd look to fade this team before I'd look to back them.
Well, I'm fading them here, and as I said, they limped into the All-Star break 4-9 to be exact. Now, granted, here's again one of those East Coast teams that finished the All-Star break on the West Coast, and a lot of times you just want to get that thing done with, go home, enjoy a few days off. But, they were shut out in back-to-back games Saturday and Sunday, before the All-Star break. So as you said, the injuries are starting to take their toll. They're they're having trouble finding ways to score runs. At the beginning of the season, they were getting they were getting it done with timely hitting and finding ways to win games. Now, they're
and
not.
They were third in home runs. They're third in home runs in the league. You know what I mean? They scored a lot of late home runs to win games. What I wanted to add real quick is where your edge also is with Verlander. Besides the pitching matchup, Verlander-Tillman, it's automatic. I mean, Tillman last year was the 2011, 13 starts, less than 5 innings per game, was the first time in 4 years he had a plus value over replacement player number. He's only, this kid's not a good pitcher. But where Verlander has the edge is that even though he got rocked, he pitched in the All-Star game. And the one concept I want to talk about real quickly is we got pitchers right now that will not be on normal rest. So you got to look to fade those guys because athletes, they're creatures of habit like anyone else. And pitchers especially, that's muscle memory there. Guys that are used to going every 4 days, every 5 days, and all of a sudden you're going on 8, 9 days, you may think that's an advantage because they got the rest, but more times than not, they're going to have a bad game that first time back.
A lot of times, and this is something to consider with over-under bettors, it's a control problem. Sometimes their arms,
they can't get it in the middle of the plate.
They're too jacked up. They got a little bit more on their fastball and stuff, and then they might have more speed on it, but they don't have the location.
What price do you think you're going to get?
I'm putting this at 135 simply because Baltimore, is a winning team playing at home. Detroit, because it's Verlander in Detroit, everybody expected so much of them. This might float up to 140, 145.
But you might get, how sharps and wannabe sharps always look at home dogs, and you got a home dog with a winning home record. You might see some money come in on the dog, so-called sharp money that forces books to lower this line. So you may get a better price on Verlander than you would have otherwise.
Yeah, as long as we're under $1.50 in this game, I think you still
Will in the back
you got value with him. And let's face it, come on, he's got that bulldog mentality. He's not
going to be embarrassed twice.
Yeah, he can't be happy with what happened. And then, let's face it. Yeah, it's all we made a lot of fun about the Kate Upton thing, but that's been all over the news.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He's got to go out now and silence the critics. And if you remember earlier in the season, it's not a true comparison, but Josh Beckett, remember when he got embarrassed with the he missed the start in the golf? He came back in his next 2 or 3 starts. He was an absolute stud.
Yeah.
Where'd this come from? So I think you're going to see that kind of performance from Verlander on Sunday. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to make them my video best bet. You guys know what happens when we have a video best bet.
Free money time.
It's time to crack out a coupon. We're going to give some of RJ's money away. It's Detroit 10. Just Detroit, all one word. Put the number 10 behind it, and you get $10 off. Hey,
drinks are on the house.
If it happens to be a $10 package, it's a freebie. Total comps. We know
drinks are on the house.
RJ loves comps, but he likes to be on the receiving end.
Not issuing them.
Yeah, on the receiving end. So go ahead and do that. Pile it into the shopping cart, whatever you want. Enter that coupon code. You'll get your $10 off. He's Vegas Runner. I'm Marco D'Angelo. This is it for the videos of actual picks this weekend. We've got one more video to view. We're bringing it back. We haven't had it for a while. This week in Vegas, and boy, it's been quite a week in Vegas.
Little rewind.
We're going to tell you some stories about what's gone on the last week. And guys, this guy's a baller. We'll tell you about it next.
Good
Pregame.tv.